This is Gil. I'm going to record a multi-part screencast talking about debugging in Java and Eclipse. This is kind of an introductory section, part one. It's just going to cover debugging at a high level, and the next sections will go deeper into setting breakpoints and how to use the breakpoints to diagnose problems in your program. So the first thing to know about debugging, you have to have a working program, so it has to compile. And then if you have a logic error or you have some section of your program that you want to explore, that's what debugging is mainly used for. So the first thing that you need to do to use debugging is to set a breakpoint. I'm going to double click, and the way you set breakpoints is you either double click on the blue marker bar on the left side of your editor window, or you can right click and say toggle breakpoint, which does the same thing. I'm going to set it at the first line just as an example. The next thing you need to do to start debugging is to run your program in debug mode. And if you'll see on the toolbar, there's a little bug here right next to the normal build run program button. So this is the button that you're going to use to debug a program. If you set a breakpoint and use the run program button, it will not go into debug mode. Oops. And so when you hit the debug button, you'll notice that all your windows change. The first time you do this, you might be asked by Eclipse to change what's called a perspective. If you say yes and remember this option, then subsequent times it's just going to change all these windows around. And what a perspective is in Eclipse is an arrangement of your windows. It's kind of your view into your program. When you're debugging, it makes some more sense to have different windows arranged in kind of a different configuration, and you can actually customize this, but this is the way that Eclipse comes out of the box. If you look at the upper right hand corner, there's two buttons. One says debug and it's depressed, and the other says Java. These are a way to quickly navigate between perspectives. So if for some reason you want to go quickly back to the Java perspective, which is where you started and is typically where you're editing programs, and then the debug perspective is where you're doing the debugging. So that's all for this section. The next section we'll talk about getting more into breakpoints and how they're used.